Hi guys, Maikeru here. This is my 1 to 99 mining guide after the mining and smithing rework. This guide's going to go into all the AFK and active XP rates that you can achieve all the way to 99. I will also be covering all of the changes you need to know alongside some useful items and all of that. As always, there will be timestamps in the description. This is going to be a long video and I'm going to have timestamps to every key part of the video in the description so you can skip to a specific part if you want to. So let's get right into this video and hopefully this explains everything to do with the mining rework. Pickaxe tiers are very important. So if you go over to a rock and you right click prospect it, it will say its level requirement, its hit points, hardness and XP multiplier. The level requirement is very important because you need a pick of that level, otherwise you will not mine very well from the ore at all. So if I hit this rock with a rune pickaxe, this is a level 50 and it says my pickaxe is lower level, so mining this will be getting reduced resources. So see, look how slowly this goes up, even with the 7 times damage, just so slow. If I switch to my pickaxe of earth and song and now I hit it, watch how much quicker it will start going up. It goes up so much every single swing in comparison. So whenever you're doing any level of rock, make sure you're doing the level of the pickaxe that corresponds with the rock tier. So if you're doing rune, make sure you do have a tier 50 rune pickaxe because the rune ore is tier 50. It is very important in order to get good XP. Never ever use a pickaxe of a lower tier than the rock. Pickaxes of higher tiers are fine, so if you used a tier 90 pickaxe on a tier 50 rock, that will help you. But if you're only level 50 and you're using a level 40 pickaxe on a level 50 rock, you're in for a bad time. You might be thinking, what the hell are Rockertunities? Well, it's very simple. A Rockertunity is when a rock glows like a goldy colour like this. When you click on it, you'll get an XP multiplier and damage multiplier for hitting that rock. So I dealt 7 times damage because I've got the magic golem outfit to increase it to times 7, and I have the highest multiplier unlocked at Animica. As you can see to the side, levels affect the multiplier. So it's very important to make sure whenever you're thinking about doing any type of ore, you want good levels to get better multipliers, and they come after the level of actually unlocking the ore. This is why I'll tell you to stick at certain types of ores for a longer period of time, because these Rockertunities do mean a hell of a lot to your XP rates. There's something new called ore boxes. These go in different tiers, and these ore boxes are used to store different ores. Again, the higher tier box goes for higher tier ores, and it can hold more and more the higher tier you go. So it's very important to make sure that if you're not using any portals or anything like that, you want to go and use these ore boxes, fill them up with all the excess ore that you've been mining so you can stay here for longer without the need of banking. As you can see, I can fill up my Elder Rune box, carry on mining, and still get tons of XP. There's a new stamina bar, but you may need to toggle it on. So if you go into your gameplay settings, go to General Game Interaction, see where I've highlighted Show Stamina Bar when mining, make sure that is ticked. The way you see the stamina bar is above your head. There is 2 bars. One is your progress bar, one is your stamina bar. When the progress bar hits full, you get an ore. The bar underneath is your stamina. As you can see at the bottom right of the screen, it gives you different bonuses for being at different levels of stamina. At full stamina, you get 25% more damage every single swing. 1 to 99 stamina, you get 12.5% more damage every swing. And at empty stamina, you get no bonus. So the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to hit every Rockertunity. That way your stamina bar will never ever get to 0 because one will spawn before it ever did. So you're going to constantly get that 12.5% damage buff per swing. I like being semi-active. 4 ticking is a little bit too active for me, personally. This gives you around 30 seconds of AFKing in between every single Rockertunity, which is a decent amount of AFK. You can see different sparks coming off the rock, and it's normally white if you don't have a full stamina bar. But if I go click this, my stamina bar is going to be full and it's going to come off green. That means if I click it every single time and it comes off green, I'm now doing this thing called 4 ticking. Clicking the rock every 4 ticks whenever you show little green circles coming off, that is going to show that you're continuously 4 ticking, and every time you're hitting, you're getting 25% extra damage and XP. This is going to cause you to mine ore faster, and this is also going to cause you to get more experience. This is really, really helpful, especially if you combine it with Rockertunities. It's going to give you so much experience. But again, like I said, it's not AFK at all. So 4 ticking and keeping your stamina bar at 100% by clicking every single time you see the sparks, it's a good way for XP and ore if you want to go super, super hard with no AFK. But if you want to AFK, I'd advise just hitting the Rockertunities. There's a new item called a Stone Spirit. These Stone Spirits give you additional ores when they're in your inventory and you mine with them. So if you were to mine a Nechrite ore with a Nechrite Stone Spirit in your inventory, it will use one of those spirits and give you 2 ores instead. That spirit will then be consumed, and instead of having that spirit now, you have an extra ore. So if you look at my screen now, I have 1 Animica Stone Spirit in my inventory. So if I hit this light Animica rock and I get my progress bar all the way up, once it hits full, I'm going to get an ore. But instead of just getting 1 ore, my Stone Spirit is consumed and I get 2 ores sent to the bank with my Sign of the Porters on my Grace of the Elves. Very, very nice. Very, very easy. Also, something to note is that it only uses 1 porter charge and still gives you 2 ore. Strength with mining is a very controversial one because there was some announcements made when the Miners Smith and Rework came out saying strength was very, very good for mining. This is true, but it's only true to some extent, and it's not as good as some people might think. So people were using overloads for mining, where it's really, really not worth it. My strength right now is 99. If I was to drink an overload, it takes my strength up to 116. My strength being 116 will give me some extra points of damage. It rounds it down to the nearest 10, and it always rounds down. So my 116 turns into 110 strength. This then means that I'm getting the 100 threshold and the 110 threshold in addition to what I was getting because I only had the 90 threshold. Now with these new thresholds added in, I've got 2 more tiers up. Strength gives 1 extra damage whenever you rank up. If you look on screen now, I've shown the minimum and maximum damage of a Pickaxe of Earth and Song. The average damage that the pickaxe does is 95. This means the strength being 2 tiers higher and giving me 2 extra damage takes it from 95 to 97. And this is only base values as well. This isn't calculating in any other boosts you have. So it's probably a lot less than a 2% increase as well. So if you do want to get an extra 2 damage per swing at the cost of an overload, go ahead. But to be fair, I just don't feel like it's worth it. And I don't feel like it's going to help you enough to warrant the cost of an overload usage. It's the same with the Dragon Battle Axe. It doesn't last as long as an overload and you need to cancel mining to cast it, which means you're probably losing out on a couple of hits anyway. Doesn't seem worth it. So you can now get critical hits on different rocks. As you can see there, I literally just got back-to-back critical swings. These critical swings have different percent chances on different rocks according to your level. Again, this is something you should always take into consideration when leveling up, so it does make certain ores better than others until you unlock the critical hit chance multipliers for them. For example, again, I'm not going to tell you to do Runite until you hit 58, because that's when you get the 30% crit chance, and Luminite is actually better with 30% crit than Runite with only 10 or 20%. The crit makes a big difference on how hard you hit the rock and how much progress you get. So it's very important to think about crit chance for mining whenever you're doing any type of ore, and I've factored that into all of my calculations in this guide. So you'll see me not telling you to go straight away do Runite. I'm not going to tell you to straight away go do Baynite. There's going to be certain thresholds that are hit, whether it be Rockertunity multipliers or critical hits, that really influence how good XP certain ores are. So instead of going in the generic 1 to 10, go copper and tin, 10 to 20, go to iron, 20 to 30, go to coal. It's going to be a completely different order, and some pieces may be skipped completely. Remember back in the day where you used to power mine iron? Well, there's similar stuff like that going on, and you don't even do iron nowadays because it's just not worth it. because it never ever gets 30% crit chance. When it comes to the useful items, I don't want to do loads and loads of different pages of useful items, so I'm going to use the wiki and quickly run down all of the items that are classed as a useful item and just explain what they do in a short summary instead of spending like 20 minutes just on them. We got the 99 or 120 mining cape. It has a 5% chance to double an ore, and whenever an ore is received, you get bonus XP equal to the level requirement to mine that rock. That means if you get a Animica rock as a bonus, you'll get 90 XP for it, because it is a level 90. But obviously, we're not even worrying about that, because this is a 99 guide, and you guys are going for this cape. There are mining accumulators. Every time you crit hit when mining, it gains 1% charge. So after 100 crits, at 100%, you gain 2.5k mining XP, and then the mining accumulator is destroyed. Pretty decent. There's also the Amulet of Glory, which increases geo drop chance by 1%. We have the Ring of Wealth and all other luck rings, including the Luck of the Dwarves. It doubles the chance of receiving metamorphic geodes instead of igneous geodes, from 1% to 2%. We have Signs of the Porter, which allow transport of ore to your bank. Very, very useful. You can also stack these up in a Grace of the Elves necklace for up to 500 charges. We then have Mining Urns, which provide us 20% more XP. Or if you have the Urn Enhancer from Nomad's Elegy, you'll get 25% more XP. And that is very, very useful to have. Decorated Mining Urns are 10 out of 10. We have the Juju Mining and the Perfect Juju Mining Potion. I wouldn't really advise the normal one, just get the Perfect Juju Mining Potions. These last an hour per dose, and they have a 10% chance to gain a stone spirit of the type of ore mined. So whenever you receive a ore, you have a 10% chance of also getting a stone spirit of that ore. Which means when you hit it again and get another piece of ore, you're going to have that ore doubled. And whenever a stone spirit is consumed to generate an additional ore, the player's stamina bar is immediately refilled. That increases some XP, especially if you're AFK. Then we have the Magic Golem outfit. This gives you a plus 5% critical hit chance, a plus 1 Rockertunity multiplier. It removes aggression in the living rock caverns and applies any golden mining suit and Varrock armor bonuses. So if you have the full golden mining outfit, that's 6% XP, and the Varrock armor extra ore chances and stuff like that. There's the Quarry Master aura, which increases the critical hit chance by 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5% respectively, depending on the tier of the aura you own. There's the Resourceful aura, which has been updated. There's now a 2% geo chance when mining while using this, and you get a 10% chance to give an additional red or crystal flex sandstone, which doesn't contribute towards your daily limit. That means you can get like 55 red sandstone near Ugalog instead of 50 if you proc it 5 times. That's pretty damn good. Then we're moving on to all the Varrock armors. They go up in tiers. Every time it's increased in tier, it increases the chance of mining double ore, and it increases the tiers of ores it works with. So Varrock Armor 1 only works with copper, tin, iron and coal, but Varrock Armor 4 works with every single ore rock. And it goes all the way up to a 10% chance of getting that double ore with Varrock Armor 4. Then with medium new Varrock tasks, this is increased from 10% max to 20%, and it's doubled on every tier stage. Then we've only got a couple more items. We have the Rock Crushing Scrimshaw, which is only about 500k right now, and it's very, very useful. It increases critical hit chance by 2%, which actually does help quite a lot. It lasts 3 hours as well, so that's 500k that's worth it. And if you make it yourself in ports, that's a 3% increase to crit chance. Then there's also the Gem Finding Scrimshaw, which I don't really like that much, but if you're really going for geodes, it increases the chance by 2%. And if it's made in your ports as a superior version, it's 3%. The Ring of Whispers from Saliske's Endgame has been updated as well. It gives plus 3 damage on swing whenever you wear it. That's pretty damn good. Then the Collector's Insignia is very much like the other aura we spoke about earlier. It has the same chance with red and crystal sandstone not to deplete, and the same extra geo chance if it's charged, and then it has half of that if it's uncharged. That's it for the useful items. Now we're going to move on to the actual guide. When it comes to the ideal kind of setup that I would recommend is on screen. Now, pretty much everything in all of the useful items all combined together in one nice setup. We have the Magic Golem outfit, we have Grace of the Elves with porters inside it, we have the Rock Crushing Scrimshaw, Quarry Master aura, Mining Cape, Piackaxe of Earth and Song augmented with some decent perks, Offhand Shield for prayer bonus and for the Wise perk, and the Ring of Whispers with a switch to the Luck of the Dwarfs for Seren Spirits. I have some urns, I have Urn Enhancer, I have a Perfect Juju Potion, I have an Ore Box, the highest tier, which is the Elder Rune one, Lava Titan pouches to help with my mining, a Super Restore just for some extra prayer and stuff, a large rune pouch, and some water runes outside of it for all the runes I need to cast Crystallize with. Then I have an Ancient Elven Ritual Shard so I can get some prayer back. So if I am using Crystallize, the half drain rate with the Grace of the Elves and the Elven Ritual Shard can keep my prayer up the whole time. Then I have some Crystal Skill Chompers in my inventory that increase your XP rates every single hit you deal to the stone, even if you don't get any resources. That is it for my setup, and that's the ideal, higher tier setup that you're going to look for. If you have any of these things, definitely use them. Before I start all the XP rates, I'm going to go into the 4 different categories of XP rates I have. There is AFK. That means you've literally just sat on an ore the whole time, and even with 0% of your stamina, you're still mining that rock, so you're fully AFK. We have 4 ticking, which I spoke about earlier. You're clicking the rock to always have 100% stamina every 4 ticks. There's hitting Rockertunities, which means you're AFKing, but whenever a Rockertunity spawns every 30 seconds or so, you run over to it, replenish your stamina bar, and get that extra from the Rockertunity. This means you're constantly getting a 12.5% increase, and you're getting the Rockertunity increase. So it's going to make your XP fairly high. Then there's going to be 4 ticking and Rockertunities, which is the best experience rates in the game. This means you're keeping your stamina bar 100% all the time by continuously clicking every 4 ticks, and you're running over to every Rockertunity that spawns. This is by far the best experience in the game, but it is also the one that requires the most focus, and you cannot AFK at all. Personally, I like hitting Rockertunities and AFKing for 30 seconds in between every single one. I find it pretty chill, and it's not too much worse than 4 ticking with Rockertunities. So if I was going to choose any, I'd hit Rockertunities and AFK in between. Anyway, now we know what the XP breakdown is going to be, I'm going to give rates on all 4 methods of training for each thing as we go to 99. So let's get into it. From levels 1 to 10, you want to do Copper and Tin. The way you get to Copper or Tin is you go to either the Varrock West or East mine. I'm heading over to the West mine now, and they have tin ore here. And then there's also copper right here as well. So you can do both tin and copper here in the Varrock West mine. From levels 1 to 10, you can do copper or tin. AFK XP rates for this is 2 to 6k experience an hour. The 4 ticking XP rates for this are 3 to 8k experience an hour. Hitting Rockertunities is 4 to 11k experience an hour. 4 ticking and hitting Rockertunities is 5 to 12k experience an hour. From levels 10 to 20, you want to upgrade to an Iron Pickaxe, and you want to go continue your Copper and Tin. AFK XP rates for this are 7 to 11k experience an hour. 4 ticking XP rates are 10 to 14k experience an hour. Hitting Rockertunities is 14 to 20k experience an hour. 4 ticking and hitting Rockertunities is 15 to 22k experience an hour. Moving on to levels 20 to 30, you want to upgrade your pickaxe again, and we are now upgrading to a steel pickaxe. The XP rates for AFK here now is 13 to 20k experience an hour. The XP rates for 4 ticking is 17 to 25k experience an hour. The XP rates when hitting Rockertunities is 23 to 35,000 experience an hour. And the XP rates for 4 ticking and hitting Rockertunities is 26 to 39,000 experience an hour. From levels 30 to 40, you're going to want to mine Mithril. When it comes to Mithril ores, again, southwest of Varrock, just west of the Lodestone, there is 3 Mithril rocks here, which is absolutely perfect and a very, very good place to mine your Mithril. Now we are level 30, make sure we've switched to a Mithril pickaxe. The AFK XP rates for Mithril at this level are 22 to 34,000 experience an hour. The 4 ticking experience rates are 26 to 42k experience an hour. The XP rates while hitting Rockertunities is 35 to 56k experience an hour. The XP rates while 4 ticking and hitting Rockertunities is 40 to 62k experience an hour. From levels 40 to 48, we want to continue doing mithril, but we want to upgrade to an adamant pickaxe. The AFK rates for this is 34 to 46k experience an hour. The 4-ticket experience rates at this level are 43 to 58k experience an hour. The XP rates while hitting Rockertunities are 62 to 84k experience an hour. The XP rates while 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities are 66 to 90k experience an hour. At levels 48 to 58, you want to do Luminite or Adamantite. To be honest, I would not advise doing Adamantite over Luminite because Luminite should be more GP as it's used in replace of coal for Runite bars and stuff. But either way, Adamantite is mined in the southeast Varrock mine, right here. Luminite is located in the Dwarven mines in Falador. If you go to the east of Falador, there is some stairs you can climb down in a house next to the party room that takes you to the mine. Once you're down these stairs, just run southwest and you'll see the Luminite rocks. Here is where you would mine Luminite. At levels 48 to 58, you want to upgrade to a rune pickaxe as soon as you hit 50 to up your XP rates. The AFK XP rates here are 39 to 58k experience an hour. The 4-ticket XP rates here are 49 to 73k experience an hour. The XP rates while hitting Rockertunities are 74 to 105k experience an hour. The XP rates of 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities here are 80 to 115k experience an hour. Getting over 100k experience an hour on your way to 58 mining is just insane. For Runite ore, I would teleport to the Yanil lodestone, run through Yanil and go north. Once you keep going north, it will be in between the fight arena and Port Khazard, and there'll be Runite rocks here for you to mine. Although if you are 60 mining, you can use the Runite ore in the mining guild. When it comes to the XP you gain from Runite ore, you want to use a rune pickaxe until 60, then you want to upgrade to a tier 60 pickaxe like Dragon or Dracolith or something of the sort. The AFK XP rates here are anywhere between 50 to 73k experience an hour. The 4-ticket XP rates here are anywhere between 62 to 90k experience an hour. The XP rates when hitting Rockertunities here are 92 to 130k experience an hour. And the XP rates while 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities are 100k to 140k experience an hour. Runite ore is some very good XP at these levels. When it comes to Orichalcite and Dracolith, you can find them both in the mining guild in Falador. This requires 60 mining to enter, but these require 16 mining to mine anyway, so it's fine. Once you've gone down the ladders, you can enter the mysterious entrance for the resource dungeon, which requires 45 dungeoneering, and there is Dracolith in there. Although Orichalcite is right here as well inside the dungeon, so they're both located in here, it's just Dracolith requires 45 dungeoneering. They're both exactly the same amount of XP though, so you can choose whichever one you prefer. So from level 68 to 75, you want to do Orichalcite or Dracolith. When you hit level 70, make sure you upgrade your pickaxe as soon as possible to a tier 71, and that can include Crystal. The AFK experience rates here are 61 to 83k experience an hour. The 4-ticking rates here are 76 to 103k experience an hour. The XP rates while hitting Rockertunities are 110 to 150k experience an hour. Then the XP rates while 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities are 118 to 162k experience an hour. The reason why there's such a big difference in experience an hour now compared to what there was is because the low end is pretty much with no buffs, but the high end is including things like avatar bonus for capping at the Citadel, urns whenever you use those while mining, and things like that. So you won't be able to hit the high end rates without things like urns. At level 75 to 80 or 89, you want to do Necrite and Phasmatite. An easy Phasmatite ore to get to is south of Port Phasmatus in Mauritania. If you run past the entrance to Araxor and keep going a little tiny bit more south, the rocks are right here. So if you want to do Phasmatite, there's some nice rocks there, easy accessible for everyone with no quest requirement right here. If you want to mine Necrite, I wouldn't really advise doing Necrite anywhere other than the resource dungeon in the Alcarid mine. This does, however, require 75 dungeoneering. So if you want to do it with no level requirements at all, I'd do the Phasmatite that I just showed you. But if you do want to do Necrite, the easiest one to do is in this resource dungeon. There is some in the desert, but you're going to need water skins and everything like that, and it's just annoying. But as you can see, Necrite rocks are right here. So again, when you hit level 80, if you're going to carry on here until 89, do make sure you upgrade your pickaxe to a tier 80 Bane one. Otherwise, make sure you're using a tier 70 until then. The AFK XP rates here are 75 to 123k experience an hour. The 4-ticket XP rates here are 90 to 154,000 experience an hour. If you're hitting Rockertunities, you can expect anywhere between 160 to 255k experience an hour. And if you're 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities, you can expect anywhere between 170 to 275k experience an hour. Again, the reason why there's such a big XP gap between the rates is because things like invention perks, things like urns, things like avatar buff, lava titan, all of these different boosts really do impact it heavily. The reason why I said either stop at 80 or 89 is because if you have 80, you can consume the resources that you're obtaining with the Crystallize spell for more XP. So if you have access to Crystallize, I would definitely do 80 to 89 with Crystallizing, Necrite or Phasmatite. To Crystallize, you need to be on the Ancient Spellbook and you need Curses for Light Form to increase your Crystallize. So what you want to do is you want to activate your Light Form Curse. If you have a Grace of the Elves, it reduces the charge drain. And you can keep your prayer up pretty much just with an Ancient Elven Ritual Shard and such. That's very, very helpful. What the Elven Ritual Shard does is it gives you prayer back over time, so that's really, really nice. If you don't have one of these, or you don't have a Grace of the Elves for the drain rate to be decreased, you can just bring a couple of potions just to replenish your prayer. Either way, you then want to use Crystallize on the rock, and you hit the rock. Every single time you see a Rockertunity like this one, you want to crystallize that new rock and start hitting that one. Because you get the additional effect of Crystallize and the Rockertunities at the same time, which is absolutely insane. Then you just keep crystallizing all the different rocks. Whenever Rockertunities spawn, they spawn about the same time as it takes you to use Crystallize. And as long as you have Light Form on, you'll be gaining that additional XP. But you may have to renew a couple when they run out before Rockertunity spawns here and there. When it comes to Crystallizing, Necrite and Phasmatite, again you should have a Bane pickaxe because you are level 80. And while crystallizing, you're not really going to AFK or anything like that, because if you're crystallizing, you're going to be casting that every 30 seconds anyway. So you should at least be hitting the Rockertunities. So if you were going to crystallize and make sure to hit your Rockertunities, the XP you would expect was 240 to 290k experience an hour. The XP that you can expect for 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities while crystallizing is 275 to 310k experience an hour. But remember, it takes away all of the ore, so you won't get any money for this method. When it comes to Baneite ore, every single location of Baneite ore except for this one, which is northeast of Relica, where the Azure Skill Chompers are, require quests. The others are in places like Glacier Cave, which requires the Ritual of the Marjarat, and other areas that are quest gated. So I thought I'd showcase this area as everyone will be able to get here because it doesn't require a quest. At levels 89 to 94, you want to do Baneite if you don't have Crystallize. If you have Crystallize, you're going to want to crystallize these, which I'll speak about in just a second. Remember, when you hit level 90 to upgrade your pickaxe, either to a Pickaxe of Earth and Song, or an Elder Rune pickaxe. Both of those are tier 90, but the Earth and Song can be augmented. The reason why I haven't included any AFK rates here is because there's an AFK method of Seren Stones, which is still decent. And if you wanted to AFK, they are the best AFK. So there's no point in doing that here. So I'm just going to show you the Rockertunity XP rates. So if you did want to get AFK rates, check the timestamps in the description. I speak about Seren Stones and Alea Crablets towards the end. The XP rates of these when you're hitting the Rockertunities are 220 to 270k experience an hour. If you 4-tick and hit Rockertunities, you can get 230 to 290k experience an hour here. Crystallizing Bainite ore while hitting Rockertunities is 270 to 355k experience an hour. Remember at 90 to upgrade to a Pickaxe of Earth and Song or an Elder Rune pickaxe. 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities is 300 to 375k experience an hour, which is pretty insane. The easiest light Animica rocks to get to are in Turanwin. If you go to the lodestone and just run east and then climb over those sticks and you're here. I wouldn't really recommend going to the desert for these, but if you are a skiller, I'd much rather recommend you to do the Dark Animica, as anyone can get there. When it comes to the Dark Animica, it's in the dig site and you can just run over to the ancient doors to go into the empty throne room. Once you're inside the empty throne room, just run to the bottom floor to the east. You can see all of these Dark Animica rocks and everyone mining them. When it comes to levels 94 to 99, if you don't have Crystallised, you can do light or dark Animica rocks. From levels 94 to 99, make sure you're using the tier 90 pickaxes, so you want to use Elder Rune or a Pickaxe of Earth and Song if you can, and you want to do light or dark Animica. If you don't have Crystallised, this will be the fastest XP for you. Hitting the Rockertunities on these is 230 to 280k experience an hour. 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities is anywhere between 245 to 300k experience an hour. Then they're even more insane if you do have Crystallised, and I'll show you those rates now. If you do have Crystallised from 94 to 99, you want to do Crystalising light or dark Animica. Again, make sure you got the tier 90 pickaxe. When you're hitting Rockertunities while Crystallising with Lightform active, you can get 320 to 400k experience an hour. If you're 4-ticking and hitting Rockertunities, you can get between 345 to 420k experience an hour. Again, do remember these XP rates are super fast, but they don't give you any resources because Crystallised consumes it. When it comes to the AFK method from 89 to 97 or 99, you can do Seren Stones. Seren Stones have the requirement of Plague's End to access Prifddinas. In the Traherne district in Prifddinas, where I'm standing right now, there are the Seren Stones. The experience an hour of Seren Stones completely AFK, meaning your stamina hits 0 and you're not refreshing it. You will get between 150 to 200k experience an hour. Then if you 4-tick, you can get 185 to 250k experience an hour, which actually makes these pretty damn good, but then they're not AFK. So the AFK rates aren't great, but if you are lazy and you do want to AFK, 150 to 200k experience an hour isn't bad. These rocks don't get Rockertunities or anything like that, and if you're just camping on 0 stamina, you're not going to get that great rates. If you want to get somewhere in between these AFK and 4-ticking rates, if you click to refresh your stamina here and there, you're going to get a decent amount of XP, and it will probably be around 200 to 220k experience an hour for being semi-AFK. Still pretty good. When it comes to Alea Crablets, you need to make sure that you've done Impressing the Locals quest for access to the Ark. Then Alea Crablets are found on Uncharted Isles, which cost supplies to get to. I have a guide on the Ark and setting all of that up. If you are interested in that, I'll leave that in the description. But what you need to do once you've done Impressing the Locals, you've kind of set up your little Ark journey. If you travel to an Uncharted Isle, you can then see if it spawns Alea Crablets. This island had Alea Crablets over here, so I'm going to go over there and I'm going to go mine them, and you can really nicely AFK Alea Crablets. When it comes to Alea Crablets, they are super AFK, and if you go full AFK, you'll get about 230 to 300k experience an hour. This is just judging that you're going to click every so often, but your stamina bar will be 0 a fair amount of the time. If you 4-tick Alea Crablets, they're anywhere between 300 to 370k experience an hour. That's pretty damn insane. That is some very fast XP, and you get Arc resources, so it's fairly close to Crystallising, and it doesn't cost you a single penny. Pretty neat. And that is it for my 1 to 99 mining guide after the rework. Hopefully I covered everything there was to the rework and you guys were happy with this guide. It's probably the hardest and most stressful guide I've ever made because I wanted to get everything perfect. And hopefully I managed to get everything correct, super solid, and get all the content out of there. I do want to give special thanks to Sooty though. He has an amazing calculator and he knows so much about the mining and smithing rework. He's been doing it for so long, helping the mods and everything. I'm going to leave a link to his calculator for the mining XP rates in the description down below. So do check that out if you want to know any more detail about any types of mining rates. This was made so much easier by him. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed. Do make sure you like the video if it was helpful to you. It took me so long to make it. I really hope it was good. Do subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, see ya.